They are very small at birth, grow to be around the size of a quarter, and may be pretty. But the spotted lanternfly is also dangerous, and it is on the march right now here in Georgia. Here to tell us why we should be on guard, Rebekah Wallace from UGA's College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences. Good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. This is interesting. A lot of people may not know much about this, so I'm glad we're going to talk more about the lanternfly. What's the biggest red flag right now that suggests that this spotted lanternfly is becoming maybe more than a nuisance in Georgia?
So, as we've seen in some other states, it is a pest of certain economic crops, and generally speaking, people don't like to find them, in their gardens and ornamental areas as well. It does impact different crops like peaches, grapes, and apples, of which some we do have those crops in Georgia. They're not our big money makers, but they are very important crops within Georgia.
They may not be money makers, but it is the peach state. Don't mess with our peaches. It's interesting to see
Yeah,
the pictures of them. You understand why they have the name. The spots are very distinct on them, so now we know what we're looking for. Walk us through how quickly the species could spread across the state if unchecked.
I actually can't speak to how quickly that could happen. There's a lot of factors that go into play, and especially when it comes to having people be on the lookout for those species, that really helps with regards to when they're found, they can then be treated. So that's why we're asking the public to be on the lookout for these species and to report it as soon as they find them. That way, our various partners at UGA and the USDA and Georgia Department of Ag and so forth can respond to those reports as they come in.
All right, so it's really important to know what we're looking for. Describe more what we should be seeing, and we'll show some more pictures as well.
So the insect goes through several different life stages, as insects tend to do. The egg stage is usually covered in a waxy kind of grayish covering. It tends to just look like a splotch of mud on, say, a tree or a flat surface. They will hatch into these very small black and white. They almost look like ticks, or they could be confused maybe with some early instars of stink bugs. And then the last instar, the last stage before the adult, is red, black, and white. So it's very distinctive. And then as the adult, as you said, it's spotted. It's got red underwings, and it's, I don't know, about an inch long.
You know, when we show the picture that when they're on the bark and they're in that mud phase that you described, is that the best opportunity to try to get rid of them? If you see those, you can kind of destroy them at that phase. What should someone do if they find them and maybe do their part to help slow the spread?
It is important to be sure that that's what you're identifying. So when spotted lanternfly was first discovered in the U.S., in Pennsylvania at first, different programs were putting out these different life stage lookalikes, including this one by Virginia Tech that I just showed. That way you can target spotted lanternfly and maybe not some of our native insects species that can be lookalikes at various stages. So a lot of different programs, universities have put out state-based lookalikes for different life stages of these species. So if you do identify in this case, egg mass, there's a lot of programs that talk about squishing and scraping on the bark or on the flat surface you find those eggs on.
All right. You mentioned, if you see them, reach out. Where should we call? Who do we reach out to? Is it an email, a phone call?
So the University of Georgia, the Center for Invasive Species and Ecosystem Health, has a program called EDDMAPS, EDDMAPS, that you can report through, as well as the Georgia Invasives website, gainvasive.org. And that website has a report form for spotted lanternfly. No matter which one of these ways that you report, it will go to people at UGA, people with Georgia Department of Ag, and so forth. So they will be the first to know that these reports are coming in.
We're so happy that there are people who not only love bugs, but love studying them so they can teach us about it. I just have this question that keeps popping up in my mind. Why us? What makes Georgia a place that really facilitates the spread of an insect like this?
Well, I mean, we just have the environment and the species that it can survive. So, the insect came over. We're not 100% sure how. And as it spreads throughout the eastern United States at this point, it's just looking for things it can feed on, things that it can lay eggs on, and continue the life cycle. So the primary host for this species, not the only host by any means, is tree of heaven. And Georgia does have tree of heaven, especially in the northern part of the state, which is where the spotted lanternfly is being found. So it was first found last year in Georgia, around the Atlanta area, and there's a fair amount of tree of heaven in that area. Now, we're also, again, concerned about our grape production that's up in the northern part of the state, and that's also where we tend to also have peaches and apples and things like that.
Yeah, and agriculture is important, an economic driver in our state and something we all enjoy consuming. So this is really important for our farming friends and for our state, and we really appreciate you teaching us about it and showing us what we need to be on the lookout for. Rebekah Wallace with UGA, thanks for the time.